The chairman and founder of Geely, Li Shifu, with a net worth of 17 billion US dollars, said on Saturday that the global automotive industry was facing serious overcapacity and that the Chinese automaker had decided not to build new manufacturing plants or expand production in existing facilities. Now, that's in spite of the fact that Geely's EV sales this year are up about 180%. And it's actually one of the fastest growing automakers in the world, top two this year. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Would love to see you at the EV show in Melbourne, the Melbourne EV Auto Show, 27th, 28th, and 29th. You can get a 25% discount off your tickets in the link that I'll put in the description below. So, we've been hearing all this news from China saying there's massive overcapacity. A big part of this problem, right, is legacy automakers who have these factories in China in particular that are not being utilized. Some of them being shut down or just quietly, no one talks about it. They just quietly just sort of, tell the employees, actually, we're just going to let you not work for a little while. This is happening. And it's, of course, happening as part of this massive global disruption of the automotive industry. Li made these comments at an auto forum in the central city of Chongqing. According to the company, Geely Holding owns multiple automotive brands, including Geely Auto, Zeekr, Volvo, Lynk & Co., Polestar, Lotus. And his comments are coming as the Chinese automotive industry, which is the world's biggest by far, has been locked in a brutal price war that is forcing many manufacturers to look to markets abroad. And that has prompted Chinese regulators to call for a halt. They're saying, this can't go on. It's too much. Now, don't get me wrong. Chinese regulators want their own car companies to succeed. And they're, going to kind of push things in that direction, if you get my drift. But basically recently, Chinese regulators have been saying, we need to put a halt, especially to some of this massive discounting. Automakers that have been building plants abroad outside of China include BYD, Chery Auto, and Great Wall Motors. Geely is planning to use French automaker Renault's existing production facilities in Brazil, and they're taking a minority stake in Renault's business in the Latin American country, according to an announcement it made in February. Keep in mind, though, Geely, they're known for doing this, right? They bought Volvo. They bought a 51% stake in Lotus. They bought a 10% stake in Mercedes-Benz. This is part of their business strategy. Reuters reported in April that Chinese regulators had delayed approval for that purchase, though, of Renault. Geely said in response at the time that its cooperation with Renault in Brazil had been successful. So what's going to happen here? Well, who knows if this is just, saying this for the sake of saying it, but it's worth pointing out that Geely, their first quarter net profit more than tripled thanks to record sales and improvement in profitability as it is striving to make headway into China's increasingly competitive electric car market. And they're succeeding. Like I said, their EV sales are up this year by a staggering 180%, faster growth than anyone except for Leapmotor and XPeng, which are coming from a much smaller base. But it means that Geely is actually on track to potentially overtake BYD within the next 18 months when it comes to EV sales in China. In fact, it's very, very possible that could happen. The company said Thursday that net profit more than tripled to 5.7 billion yuan, which is 787 million US dollars. Revenue for the quarter rose to 58 billion yen, 72.5 billion yen, up from 58 billion the previous quarter. The Chinese automaker said it achieved record sales in the first quarter and saw robust growth in its new energy vehicles, meaning primarily EVs and secondarily plug-in hybrids. Its total sales volume jumped as a company by 48% to 704,000 units during that period. Sales of its Galaxy brand more than tripled, with improved profitability for its new energy segment, Geely said. Robust sales have led to massive scale effects and a substantial increase in overall profitability. And Geely is now China's second largest EV maker. And it's been expanding its market share with strong product offerings, particularly from Zeekr. Zeekr is a premium EV brand owned by Geely and they said Thursday that its first quarter net loss narrowed to 718 million yuan, down from 1.98 billion. So massive decrease in losses at Zeekr. And it looks like they're on track to potentially maybe in the next 12 to 18 months. Zeekr's vehicle margin, though, rose to 16.5% from 13% 1 year earlier. And that's thanks to sustained cost controls, partly offset by lower average selling prices for its cars. But remember, Zeekr, basically all their cars are made in China, and that's going to help them to increase their profit margins. So looking at their profit margins, I mean, look at the Volkswagen Group profit margin, 6%. Zeekr's at 16.5%. Geely has reorganized some of its resources over the past year. Last week, Geely said it is considering taking Zeekr private just 1 year after it was listed in the US stock exchange. Zeekr's potential privatization will likely support Geely's synergies with regard to research and development, supply chain and product portfolio concentration, HSBC Global Research Analyst wrote recently. Two of Geely's brands, Zeekr and Lynk & Co., also recently merged to form Zeekr Group in order to maximize and improve the efficiency of the group's resources. Geely's Hong Kong listed shares have risen 32% this year, outperforming pretty much everyone else. 32% rise. I don't think anyone really saw this coming, but Geely has become a formidable player, and they increased their sales last year significantly to become the world's 10th largest automaker. I can see them probably jumping up a few places this year to become maybe 7th. I think it's likely within the next 5 to 10 years that Geely and BYD will be the two largest automakers in the world. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? In the comments. Bye-bye. The Geely EX5, which has just gone on sale in a number of different countries around the world, a very good value for money car. It's just been updated in China. It looks a little different on the outside, a little different on the inside. Not major differences, but it's a little different. The biggest difference, though, they've added a different long-range version, a bigger battery option that will give you probably about 500 kilometers of WLTP range. The Geely EX5 has been one of the world's top-selling electric cars over the past 6 months since it was unveiled. It's extremely good value for money. Here in Australia, people are buying them, and they're doing really well. But there's just one issue, and that is that there's only a standard range version. The longest range version has about 440 kilometers of range. And that means that, for some people, it's not going to be the right car. That's why Geely have just unveiled a different version, which has 610 kilometers of range. Here are the details.